Hello everyone, hope you're having a great day. It's Inspiration Tuesday, and I want to take a few minutes and talk with you about limiting beliefs. We are a sum total of our beliefs. Our beliefs are the very foundation of who we are. It's the very fabric of who we are. And as we look to move forward in life, we have to ask ourselves a question. Are my beliefs keeping me stuck where I am, or are my beliefs conducive to my growth? Is it conducive to my progress? I want to draw from a story. It's in Numbers chapter 13, where there was an expedition where 12 men went to spy out the land that God had promised them. And 10 came back with a report that, listen, when we looked at the people that were living in the land, they're giants, and we are like grasshoppers compared to them. When we look at ourselves, we're like grasshoppers. We're like mere insects, and there's no way for us to overcome and get the land. Two of the other gentlemen, Caleb and Joshua, they're like, listen, we can do this. We're more than able to overcome and take it. So we see a contrast between two belief systems. One was a bit limiting, where the 10 spies were like, listen, we can't do it. There are too much oppositions. It's impossible. While you had two individuals who had a progressive way of thinking to say, listen, we can do this. We can overcome. We can conquer. We can have the victory. So limiting beliefs, what are these? These are thoughts that constrain us in some way, shape, or form. It's a systematic way of thinking where we operate within a construct that sometimes keep us hostage to where we are. We have no preconceived notion. We just do it. We say it. We think it without even acknowledging the fact that it may not be the right way to think. It sometimes shapes our self-identity. The beliefs that we have may be in general how we were raised, how we think, the system that we live in. And for us to move forward, we have to change some of these limiting beliefs. You know what they are. Sometimes we just don't feel like we're good enough. We're educated enough. We feel like we don't have enough. We feel like we don't deserve it. And sometimes we have those conversations with ourselves where we tell ourselves, I don't have the willpower. I'm just not motivated. I'm not happy with how things are going. And I don't have a positive outlook on life. I'm not smart enough. I can't do that. There is no point. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough support. I don't have enough connections. I'm too shy. I'm too scared. I'm too busy. And we have all these reasons that sometimes limit our beliefs in what we're doing and in where we're going. So these can be daunting. And there's a time and a place where we have to reach the conclusion that some things have to change. Luckily, we have time in our hand and we have opportunity. So step one, we have to identify the belief and evaluate whether or not it's in line with our purpose. Most beliefs are so difficult to change because that's how we grew up. That's how we were raised. The people around us, that's how they think. It's based on our environment. I'm just going to tell you a quick story about myself. I was raised in an environment where my beliefs were limited, where I just didn't believe in some areas of my life that I could be successful, that I could have certain opportunities. Why? Because someone told me at one point in my life that it could not happen. And it became a barrier. It was imprinted on my mind. And there are times when I've experienced failure in life, where I've tried different things and it didn't work. And that little voice, it comes back and tells me, Vaughn, remember they said you weren't going to be anything. You weren't going to accomplish anything. You would not be anything in life. And I had to identify those thoughts and say, listen, this is not good. This is negative. It's weighing me down. It's too heavy for me. It's going against my purpose, because I've written my purpose down. I know what my purpose is. And I've identified that these thoughts, they're not helping me. They're hurting me. They're holding me back. So if we continue to focus on the negative, and this is just bigger than just a negative perspective. This is bigger than having a negative perception. This is bigger than having an inferiority complex. It's a whole system of thinking. It's a whole way of thinking that we have to overcome. And we have to identify that this belief is not in line with who I am. Two, we have to kill the conclusion. We have to kill the fact that, listen, This is not the end. This is not how my story will end. I know that's what the thought is saying, that I will not be successful. I will not overcome. I will not accomplish some things. But I have to cut it off. I have to cut it off. I have to kill it. I have to immediately shut it down. Because as long as it stays in my mind, as long as that tape of what they said about me keep playing, I find myself falling, and I have to catch myself and say, listen, I got to kill this right now. I have to shut this down. So 3, we have to test the assumption. Without pushing the boundaries, we never know how far we can go. Yes, they told me this is where I can go. Yes, they told me this is what I can achieve. But I'm going to push a little bit harder. I'm going to see what's possible. I'm going to see what's further ahead. What's the worst that can happen? That's a question I keep asking myself every day. What's the worst that can happen? Think about it. We need to do something to break that pattern of limiting our beliefs. And we have to ask ourselves some questions. Questioning is the first step. But if we only look at it and say, well, this is the way I am, this is the way I've always thought, this is the way I've always believed, then nothing will change. Some type of action is required. So not only am I going to acknowledge the fact that there's something subconscious that I need to change, that I need to override, I need to replace, I will now begin to come up with an action plan. I'm going to tell you the action plan that works for me. It's called replace and repeat. Oh, wow. I had to find a new overpowering belief to override my subconscious, to override those thoughts that were handed down to me, that were given to me. I had to find an overpowering belief to tell myself in the midst of gloom, in the midst of failure, that I can be successful. And this is where I draw from. I go directly to the scriptures because that's what I know. That's my foundation. So I go with the repeat and I start repeating. I say, listen, I'm thankful for my life. My life has purpose. I am chosen. I'm confident. I'm created by God. I am who God says I am. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made by Him. So I start with the I am, who I am. I begin to impress on my mind a higher level of thinking, an overpowering belief that is greater than my consciousness. Then I move into the I can. I begin to tell myself, I can choose to be positive. I can choose to be optimistic. I can be an overcomer. I can be creative. So not only I am, then I move to I can. Then the last thing I wrap it up with is I will. I wrap it up with the I will. I will think positively. I will overcome challenges. I will reach my goals. I will reach my destination. I'll write my book. I'll start a YouTube channel. I began to tell myself what I will do. And believe me, I've seen some changes. We all struggle at some point in life with different thought processes, and we have to make a decision. I have to override these thoughts to change my belief system, because I am who I think I am. I am who I say I am. And until I change what I say about myself, my thinking will not change. Your words have power. Speak life, speak power, and have a great day.